Analysts say the temporary cessation of hostilities is not only clearly inadequate but also a public relations move driven by U.S. interests. On Thursday, the White House announced that Israel had agreed a daily 4-hour pause in fighting in northern Gaza, allow people escape fighting and allow humanitarian aid enter. But within hours, Israel's campaign targeted Gaza's largest hospital, Al-Shifa, and Israeli tanks surrounded 4 other hospitals in the northern part of the besieged area. Al-Shifa Hospital, where more than 11,000 Palestinians have and more than 27,000 have been injured, has received only 2 shipments of life-saving supplies since the conflict escalated. The facility is barely standing. Many facilities remain chained due to fighting and Israel's siege of Gaza following the Hamas attack on southern Israel on October 7. Meanwhile, there is a water shortage in Gaza. Many hospitals and other facilities are running out of fuel, and the humanitarian crisis is deepening. Many experts said pauses may offer some hope that hospitals may have been restocked and other essential facilities supplied. But the attacks in last 24 hours raise questions about Israeli and U.S. intentions. They also said that the pauses were insufficient. Both the United States and Israel have made clear that there will be no ceasefire between Israel and Hamas. Unilateral movement given situation and the needs on ground. I think any announcement of a temporary suspension of hostilities is positive, Gillard told Al Jazeera. What is clearly needed in the short term is a temporary suspension of activities, allow humanitarian actors to transit safely and allow people receive that humanitarian assistance. The problem is that this is a unilateral pause rather than an agreed pause between Israel, Hamas and other parties. She added. Gillard said this raises question of whether Hamas and other groups will respect the pause, as Palestinian group has not made any commitments. He added that a third-party mediator should facilitate reaching agreement on pauses that both parties will respect. Gillard also said it was extremely important for Israel to communicate details of the stoppages. Otherwise civilians using them could be harmed. Pauses are not the solution. Other analysts said a humanitarian pause did not meet the need and that Israel should cease hostilities completely. Pauses are not solution. Abdel Hamid Siyam, a professor of political science and Middle Eastern studies at Rutgers University, told Al Jazeera, adding that instead ceasefire is needed so that humanitarian aid can arrive uninterrupted and foreigners can leave country and maybe negotiations can be held. Siyam said Israel's past instructions had failed to protect civilians. If this is just a pause, allow people to move from north-south. It hasn't worked in the past and it won't work in the future. He said, people can't come after 4 hours. There is increasing pressure on Israel right now to